Hey, what's up everyone? Danny and Alex. In this video, we're going to teach you guys how to escape the bottom position. More specifically, how to escape the mount position in Jiu-Jitsu. Now, I also want to thank my friend Rodrigo Tovar from LA, who sent us these beautiful Painted Demons t-shirts. All right, so check them out at painteddemons.com for all your Jiu-Jitsu gear. Check this video out. All right, before I show some escapes, I also want to make sure that everyone understands the basics of how we use the bridge, because this is the content today. We're going to bridge and roll, or sometimes known as the trap and roll variations, to escape the mount position when someone is on top of you. I'm going to teach you guys several different variations of this. But first, in case you're just starting out, we need to know how we actually trap and roll solo. As a solo drill, what you're going to do is practice your bridging. And when I say bridging, it's not like in gymnastics, we're going to bridge over our head, posting onto our neck and injuring ourselves. Because we have to always understand that in fighting, jiu-jitsu, mixed martial arts, self-defense in this case, is we're going to have someone sitting on top of us. And if we bridge on top of our head, our neck, we're going to injure ourselves. So we need to learn how to bridge properly for combat. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is lie on our back. And from this position here, is always ensuring that our feet draw themselves as near to our butt as possible. So one of the common mistakes is when people start out in Jiu-Jitsu, they're having a hard time bridging simply because their feet are far away from them like this. And now it makes it very challenging for me to raise my hips off the mat. So by bringing my feet very close to me, it makes it easy for me to extend and push off the ground with my feet to raise my butt. Okay, so now what we need to understand is if I just bridge simply by lifting straight forward, although I am bridging in essence, I'm not really displacing the weight of my opponent that will be sitting on top of me. So the idea is to bridge him and roll them off of us so we can get the top position. So in order to do this, watch what's going to happen with my feet. As I start raising off the mat, there's going to become a point where I'm going to start to point my head, my shoulder, my torso, and the same side, that knee, in the direction where I'm going to bridge over. And as I pivot, this foot comes on top and I drive with my foot to come to the turtle position like this. And this will switch the position where I was on bottom to my opponent being on their back and me being on my knees or having the top position. Let's look at this once again. So from here, if you see, if I'm facing the camera like this, what happens here is I need to bring my feet close to me. In this fashion, I'm able to raise my hips off the mat. But if I simply raise straight up like this, all I'm doing is pushing my opponent up with me, but the moment I come back down, I've gained nothing, right? So now I need to go in this or this direction. Let's do it on this side first. So I'm gonna go one, and watch how my knees point in the direction I'm going, and I use my toes to drive and come up for the top position. Okay? One more time, let's do it in this direction. So I come up, I'll do it in this direction now. I start to turn, and notice how all of my weight is on my shoulder and not on my head. Head looks away, I'm always looking in the direction I'm going, and I use this as a gauge to drive forward, and I propel myself and I push with my toes to come off in the top position. That's the simple way of practicing the bridge. Now, of course, when we do it in a warm-up as a solo drill, we're gonna go left to right, like this. So I'm gonna go 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. And we're gonna keep doing this motion as a warm-up, as a solo drill. But the essence of bridging is really to remove the opponent from on top and us gain the top position to reverse the position so we can get an advantage in self-defense. All right, now I'm gonna bring in my partner, Alex, who's gonna join us to demonstrate the technique. So he's gonna be on his back. And now with the bridging, what we're gonna practice is learning how to use it in a real self-defense situation. Now in the mount position, a lot of times what the aggressor will do is use both hands and start to strangle like this. What Alex needs to do is to trap my arms. So what he's gonna do is
trap the wrist like this. Okay, so he's gonna push the wrist. By pushing the wrist, now it's hard for me to choke him. Now he's gonna use his hand and cup behind my elbow like this, just like he's shaking hands with someone. So from this position is what we call the trap. And the last piece, he's also gonna trap my foot in the back. We'll show you guys a different angle right after this repetition. His free leg, he's gonna bring it towards his butt, and now on the same side that he's trapped everything is the side where he's gonna bridge me over, going towards his left side. But it's very important to notice that he doesn't wanna bridge me towards this angle. He wants to bring me towards his shoulders angle on a diagonal like this. Okay, if he just rolls me here, he's just gonna make me fall off, but then it's gonna be a scramble for him to who gets on top first. If he goes on a diagonal, when he bridges me off, it's gonna take me too much time to re-scramble back up to my knees, and he's already gonna get the top position. So watch how it looks like. It goes one, and then here, and now he has the top position here. The moment he lands in here, if this was self-defense, he needs to cup on my biceps and ensure I don't start to strike. So now he could seize the position and analyze where he's at, and from there, he could proceed to his next technique. Okay, let's look at it one more time. So as the top position, the aggressor, I'm on top trying to choke him like this. Both hands on his neck. He's gonna seize the wrist, and now cup behind my elbow, just like he's shaking hands with someone. Notice how his elbow is just across my lap. That way that I can't go higher up. And now he traps my foot on the same side, and he's gonna bring his back leg towards my butt so he can drive off of it. So once again, it's very important not to go sideways, but going diagonal, okay? So if this was a clock, I don't wanna fall at 3 o'clock. I wanna go towards 1 o'clock, all right? So go Alex, he goes here. I post because I lost my balance, but the moment I land, I'm gonna try to attack him. So where is he gonna go? He's gonna start to seize the biceps, ensure protection from here, okay? Keeping his head down and the biceps tied up like this. Now it's hard for me to strike him, okay? Now the next technique is gonna be very similar. Once again, we're gonna use the bridge and roll or trap and roll. But this time, the trap is invisible. Why is that? Because I'm the one trapping his head. A lot of times the opponent might just hug you. They don't feel confident up here, so they're gonna start to hug your neck like this. This is very common. They're holding on to you, sometimes even both hands. So what is he gonna do? Instead of seizing the wrist like he did earlier, I'm giving it to him. By hugging here, I can't post on that side. My hand is trapped behind his head. So when I'm on top and holding his neck like this, I'm too busy hugging him and not worrying about being rolled over. And this is where he's gonna take advantage of the situation, okay? So as I hold on to his neck like this, all he's gonna do is bring his fingers inside that crack of the bicep, just like this. Hold on to me and close the elbow. From here, my arm is stuck. Now he's gonna trap the foot on the same side and bring the arm, almost like he uses this as a C-clamp to push me off of him and drive with the back leg in the same fashion he did in the first technique. Go ahead, here. And once again, trap the biceps and ensure protection. Okay, let's look at it from this angle now. Once again, I'm hugging behind his neck. This is probably the easiest way for him to escape because now I'm giving him a freebie. I'm really giving him the arm he wants to trap and roll. So as he holds on here, one. Now by closing the elbow, it makes it difficult for me to remove my arm. But I don't see any threat right now. So all I'm gonna do is squeeze harder, but now he's gonna trap the foot and roll me over in the same fashion he did earlier, one. And when I land, he's gonna ensure that I can't strike him and having a top position. All right, guys, the last variation of the trap and roll is sometimes the opponent is on top of you trying to punch you in the face. So what's gonna happen now is my shoulders are erected like this. I'm straight up. Once I'm here, all of my weight is on top of his hips. So now he's gonna use both legs to propel me forward by using that bridge again. So as he sees the punches coming, one, he bridges up, forces my hands to the mat. If I don't post onto the ground like this, I'm gonna smash my nose onto the ground and injure myself. So of course the reaction is gonna be to stop my fall by posting onto the mat. And that's exactly what he's trying to accomplish. Now, once he posts up, as he bridges, and he sees the hands here, he's gonna immediately wrap the arm and ensure he has a snug grip like this. He doesn't want me escaping this arm. Now on the same side, he's also gonna trap the foot And now use the trap and roll, just like we did in the 2 previous versions. As he bridges, 1. And now he lands here and defends himself. Okay, one more time. All right, let's look at it from this angle again as I'm trying to punch him. He sees me coming here, he's gonna bridge up, forces me to post onto the mat, traps my arm, makes sure he has a snug grip, and now traps the foot. And from here, he rolls me over his shoulder. 1, boom. And then he protects right away. Good. Now, one more trick, guys. Sometimes if the person is heavy and as he's bridging up, he feels that, go, I'm still on top and I'm not posting. What he can do as an added bonus is use one of his knees and bump me with his leg. Watch this. As he starts to go up, he bumps me with his leg and pushes me forward. Almost like he's kneeing me on the small of the back. And now he's gonna trap, sees this. Now for training, you probably noticed that my hand never stays flat on the mat. Every time he rolls me, always turn your hand up, pump up, knuckles to the ground like this. That way it ensures that when he rolls me, I don't break all of my fingers, okay, for training. If this was a real self-defense, he's not gonna ask me to turn my hand over. But for training purposes, always make sure that your partner turns his hand, palm to the ceiling like this, all right? That way there, I always protect my hand. Now, he's gonna trap my foot, and once again, just like every other trap and roll, he's not rolling me this way. Always go towards 1 o'clock and roll me here. And then he's rolled me over. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching our video. Once again, if you like this type of content, leave us a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And if you haven't so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and stay updated for future videos on Jiu-Jitsu. Until next time, guys, we'll see you
in the next video.
Take care.